So in this video we're going to demonstrate how we turn our mind map or our planning for our house report, my house report, and how we've planned our opening statement introduction, how we've planned our classification, the 3 paragraphs, and what we're going to put in each of the paragraphs, all planned out, and our conclusion kind of planned out as well. So let's start with our opening statement first. Now here's the opening statement I've written. You can see I've planned to write that it's a single-storey home in Dunsborough and sort of written a sentence. Well, here's what it's turned into. Our house is a single-storey home in Dunsborough. It has a big backyard, different rooms and a double garage. Now I've mentioned those 3 things because a big room, big backyard, different rooms and double garage are the 3 things we mentioned are going to be in the paragraphs. So it's good to mention those 3 things in your introduction or your opening statement so the reader knows what each paragraph is going to be about. So now we build information on each of those. Let's turn to the first paragraph, and that's about a big backyard. I was going to mention tramp, swings, a deck and a golf course. So here's our first paragraph. A big backyard is great for playing, sharing time with your family and feeling like you have lots of space. In our backyard we have a trampoline for jumping and swings for swinging. There is a deck that we will have dinner on one day. We can also walk out on the golf course in the evening. So I've put all those things that were in our backyard paragraph into that paragraph. I've also put lots of verbs. Your challenge is to put as many verbs as you can into your paragraphs and into your writing. Trampoline for jumping, swings for swinging, and even a future tense. There is a deck that we will have dinner on one day. Our second paragraph looks at the different rooms in our house. Has a plan to write 4 bedrooms, lounge room, laundry and concrete floors. And here's what I've turned it into. There are many different rooms in our home. We have bedrooms, 3 kids and 1 for adults. Now can you see how I've changed the number 3 to the word 3? Because whenever you're writing, you should always write write a number in words, not as a number. We have 2 lounge rooms where we watch TV. We also have a kitchen and a dining room. Let's correct as we go along. Where we eat our meals. The laundry and bathrooms have lots of space. It's interesting having polished concrete floors as we have never had that before. Can you see how I made sure that I started these sentences with we, and another we, but this time I started it a little bit differently so that it makes it interesting for the reader. It's interesting having polished concrete, so I still talked about the point that I wanted to from my planning, polished concrete floors, but I just did it in a simple way. And finally, our third paragraph, which is about a double garage. And here we're going to mention that we have storage, bikes, kayaks and sports equipment and tools. And this is how I wrote it. Having space for storage is wonderful. Can you see how I decided to start this paragraph a little bit differently? And I started with a verb. Our double garage gives us place to put our bikes, kayaks, sports equipment. We have organised, past tense, verb tense, all this gear in the garage nicely. My tools will be stored, future tense, there too in the future. Our lovely home is only 1 year old. Now this is my conclusion. I planned this here and I planned to say that it was 1 year old, but I've added something else because I had an idea, and that's what writers do sometimes. Our lovely home is only 1 year old, but it feels like home to us. It was built by the previous owner. Now I made sure that there's nothing else in the conclusion, nothing new about the house, Nothing new about describing what the house is like, because that's what a report does. It describes what something's like. But just interesting facts about the house, and that's a good way to finish the conclusion, with an interesting fact or two. Okay, good luck with your writing, and don't forget to write as many verbs in your report as you can.